Gematria effect news. Gematria effect news. Okay, let me see. Okay, here it is. Sunday, January is 90. December, wow, I didn't write it here. January. February or February? Well, how do you write that? Let me look that up. How do you write that? How do you write the days of the months? How do you say the days of the week? How do you say the days of the week, months, and year? No, that's not what I want. How to write the dates correctly? No. February, March, April, May. Okay. How do you write December? December. And how to use commas and dashes and dots in our language. What does it mean when we're actually, if we were to read hieroglyphics, what would a dot and a dash mean? I have the dot. I fully haven't come up with understanding a dash unless I know a little bit more about English to understand where things are in coordinate space. Where if we have to occupy all coordinate space, where will what be and what will the piece of art look like? There's three basic, and it comes, for me, there's more than three basic, but one of them is the dot in the center. Now, I can make that dot, and I can cross the dot in what I like to call 180 degrees and what is apparently perpendicular. Or what to be said is horizontal. Or vertical. Or an angle. And now you're going to go, I have a left and I have a right. I have from above and to below. Now, if I was talking temperature, we can also use the same words. So what am I talking about? Is that when I cross this line over here. So what's happening over here, if you take a good look, this, right, is spinning around the pole. Here's the pole. This is spinning around the pole. And every 1, 2, 3 is one pole. 1, 2, 3. Is another pole. And then, did I get this right? And then here's another pole. Every 3. And where did I learn that? I was taught that right over here. I use this because everything we do in life, we seem to use this. And if I'm not using that, I'll use this. And if I'm using this, I'll use the short ruler, which is 6 inches or 15 centimeters, representing Mars, 15 and 6, right? It's just like saying 1506 or 1515 or 1524 or 1533 or 1542 or 15 51. Now, where does this come from? This is the clock. And at the same time it says that, it'll say 306, and then it'll say 315. So each one of them in their own is a story. Now, what story do we get out of this? I'm trying to remember one of the stories. Well, here we get 66. It's also, if we were looking at time, it would be 3 hours is 180. It'd be 204 minutes. Plus 720, because it's the 15th hour, equals 924, which equals to a total of 216.0. So it's not only is it 66, right, but it's also the numeric value for the diameter of the moon, bringing in the 9 months of birth of the 24-hour day in creation of 6. So if I went to this one over here, we still get 66, but this one is 15 by 6 is 900. This one is 942. This one is 924. But in both scenarios, right, this one, just let me see, 9 by 4 is 360, and 18, 378. Is that what it gives me? It gives me 360 and 18. So it's talking about inside the sun, the birth of Raish, or Raishi, or Harry. Where do I get this from? Number 36 will create mathematically 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 equals to I9 and R18. The word love equals to 54, 3 times 18. The word sun equals to the same numeric value. The difference between the two is this is 3 letters, alphabet reverse 81. This is 4 letters, alphabet reverse 54. Because this word inverts, I do not add any letters. In the word sun, I'm going to write HFM. And the sun is number 54. It's also noted to be 1, 3, and 5. And that's an ace. And when I create an ace, it shows me that there's a division right over here. I also have to note that in one of these cells, this is what takes up half the cell. When it's on an angle, it's talking about the queen. How can I say, why do I use it? I use things in real life that we play with. This is a real deck of cards that they use. It's the bicycle deck, right? And they go out, and if you take a look at the king, you take a look at the jack, and if you take a look at the queen, right, the angle of the headrest, crisscrossing, here it's on an angle. This one is Mars. This one will use the dice cube like this. This one would be Mars. We'll use the dice cube like this, right? This is Mars. And the numeric value for queen and game is 62 and 26. And that's the numbers you get. Mars is passing on an angle, 45-degree angle. Even though the numeric value for this, right, is talking about the queen, this side is Mars. Also note that this is 73, 37, 73. 40, 40 away from the 7th gate. 2 and 2, and I'm just looking at 2 and minus 2, 22, giving you life. Where do I see it? I need to reach number 4, coming into Mars. There's a base for creation. Okay, and the base comes from a little bit this instrument here and a little bit of this. And where does it come from? First of all, to know that Go Ape, right, is 22 and 22. They're each valued at 22. You have to know that Go is noted to be green, which is 49, and 8 equals to 49, right? If you multiply it by 2, it equals to 98, so it's a high Go. The letters reverse in each other, just like the numbers reverse in each other. 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2 create this. When we need to perfect this to 1, There are 1 and 360 that goes around. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that properly. Okay. So what happens is this becomes 9 and this becomes 8. The inverted, what I'm talking is once we get number 1, we can have the 360 degrees all based on what holds the cord. If there was a horse, if I was holding a cord to a horse, it would have to encircle the center of who I am. So I make everything 9 and 1 equals to 10, okay, equals to 1, and 8 and 2 equals to 10 equals to 1. That's what I get here. And then 7 and 3 equals to 10 equals to 1. We also use this in our world. Chris, I'm going to answer you in 1 minute, but it seems like you may have left. I'm going to tell you in a minute. The 7 months of 31 days, the 4 months of 30 days, and the 1 month of 28. But in the 4th year of the cycle, we add on that day. And that might be because when we cross over the greater distance over here, it could be that day. Let me see, Chris, are you still on here? Let me read this, what it says. How can I reach out to you? Do you have an email I'd like to ask you questions on particular subject? I don't want to throw you off on your work. Particular subject. Well, it's usually on my work because all subjects are basically on my work. Would it not be? I mean, you won't throw me off my work. I get thrown off myself. So I'm going to write you my email. Let me see. If you're going to send me anything, just make sure it's in writing. I cannot open anything up to see it. Chris, are you still here, Chris? Yeah, ask me anything now, because I mean, the minute I go to read a question, I lose my place, but I remember where I am now. And at the same time, I'm going to get a drink in the kitchen, so you can ask me right now. I'm here. You want to do it? Unless you don't want this to be public, that's something different. Unless you want to write me right now, and I'll answer you while I do my work. Just for a second before I continue, so let me show you just one little piece. You see a lot of the stuff, right? Dashes and dots and mathematical equations, you know, different equations that have happened that create these designs. Even the Mayan show these glass blocks, and it shows them on this angle, and this is generated from what is actually history. In a Mayan grid stone, in their rotation and their numbers, right, they run through a section of 13 and 7 numbers in the same 360, divisible, I think, by 7 and 9, if I can remember. So running off that 7 and 13, it also shows you that 7 and 13 is being run right over here as well. 13 is 1 and 3 is 4, and 17 is right over here. You can also run it as 9 and 8 equaling to what is 17. 147 is how I run my rotation. This is also a rotation of what I call the pigs. It's big time working with the pigs. The pigs say a lot of things. They say ham radio. They say bacon paddles, which is to keep the heart going. They say to split hoof because in the house of bait, it's a split house. Even Aleph shows above and below, and it shows 2 chimneys in the Aleph letter. In bait, or in the B, it shows you 2 different hives. And to create the letter B, you need to use 2 Ds, 2 smaller Ds to create the B. And also to create the B, you can also create the B by putting 2 pyramids on top of each other, or thinking, depending on how you want to look at this, So when we take the A letter and we split it, right, like this, then we create one house. Here's the triangle, and then we create another house. Here's another triangle. So inside of A, we are now creating B and O and V. And at the same time, it just looks like a K came inside the V, creating all this. At the same time, if you really take a look at it, you have the letter Resh, 18 for the resident angel, divided between the head on one side and the feet on the other side, looking in one direction. The one-eyed Jack, the one-eyed king. The other way to look at this is to take true triangles, the BMO, Bank of Montreal, and to draw them over each other, creating the letter B. That's why maybe we go out like this. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. So where are we going to go next? Where I really had nothing planned. We were talking about this, and the reason for this, if you take a look, it's going all the way through them. These are all spinning around on their own. Each one of these, and then they're strings. They're lined up as strings. I didn't want to get into this because I'm not really not preparing, but I just want to show you that the cycle of a moon is apparently 28 days, right? I don't know what the cycle of the moons of Mars are. I would like to know because Earth and Mars run together. Okay, so we get 28 days. Each one of these cubes is 21 dots. So when we have 4 of these cubes, we get 84 days, which is 3 times 28. And it's 3 times and 1 times to create a cycle of 4. 3 times 28 will create my 84. It's my first 84. I have to find out how I can arrive and achieve numbers, whether it's exact or not exact. Okay. If this number was 85, it'd be 3 times 28 plus 1. So I'm missing the center. So therefore, I'm missing the heaven. Now, if it was 86, it'd be 3 by 28 plus 2. And now I have the gate within. 2 with the 7th gate inside, 1 with the 8. 7 and 8 coming together. I'm going to get back to this after. 7 and 8 coming together, and you're going to get to the month of October. You're also going to get to what I like to say is the queen. When you add up 1 to 12, and the 12th card is the queen, it equals to what is 78. Also note that the word 12 equals to 87. You think it's by chance? And when you do this, I always like to add up to a single digit. So instead of 1 through 12, it's now 1 through 3, and it equals to 6. 6 times 13, which is man, equals to 78. And that 13 will now turn into a 4. And this will equal to 24 and 10 equaling to 34, which is the same value as 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 4 equals to 3. And this is where DC house planet fits in. We have the divided 7th gate to big 6 and 8. Where do we get this? Well, what happens here is planet is 68, house is 68, and this is DC. We get the colors, or we can also go the dog and the cat if you want, and then you're going to have the Z and the X. We're not going to get into that right now. What we do with this number over here is once you have the cat, the numeric value for the cat is 24. 2 times 4, 8. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 plus 8 is 14 equals to 62, the same numeric value as the queen that has 8 eyes. 26 cubes on Rubik's Cube and 1 empty space. Man is where number 13 comes in. When you continue this, it will then equal to 12 and 7 equaling to 19, which is reflective of the moon. 3 by 19. I bring numbers with reason. If I want to get to any number between 3 and 100, I will multiply it. If I'm off by 1 or if I'm off by 2, I'll never be off by 3. I'll only be off by 1 and 2, and that 1 and 2 are going to be told as a story in here. And it also has to be discussed amongst us because I'm not the final word. I'm just bringing things, I'm just opening up the can of worms, looking what's inside, telling you what I see. You tell me what you see, and is it possible that that is a reality? You tell me, is there 1 dot here, and can there be 9? Well, then I'll take this, and I'll use the center one here. And there are 8 around. This tells me there are 9. Since it's in a square pattern, I look at the calculator and I see the same 9. I go to the ATM and I see the same 9, and I see letters on everything. I see the Q and the Z on number 1 at the ATM. I go to my telephone, I see 9. I'm not going to talk about the 0, the pound key, or the star key, because for me, the 0, the pound key, and the star key is more or less like this. Here's the 0. Okay. Here's the star key, right? And then here's the pound key from this. How would I mark the pound key? This would be the pound key. So everything I'm looking at the phone is I have 9, my 0's in the center. It's in position 5, and it's one area. Numeric value for Mars is the same. The same numeric value for what is Mars to when you flip it upside down to the numeric value of the Queen. The total between Mars and Queen is 103. And we're going to go to the month of September, and we're going to give you the same 103 or number 13 as man's bar mitzvah comes to be. Or how about the initials JC for Jesus Christ? Which, it's funny that Jesus, energy, matter, Christ, cross, and time have the same numeric value, and which is going to create the angel of man. I'm going to show you that soon. So we ended up with the house planet DC. Now, why does it divide 6 and 8? It divides 6 and 8 because the house of Kabbalah, the black house, the square house, Rubik's Cube, how it works is what we have is we're going to work with number 6 and 2. So we get number 6 and 2. I'll get back to this in a minute, what I was working on. When we get 6 and 2, underneath we get 5 and 1. When we get 3 and 5, notice the way these two now connect, we are going to get what is 4 and 2. So we have 4 and 2, and what do you think the other side of that is, right? 3 and 5. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get 3 and 3 and 4 and 4, 6 and 8 equals to 8 equals to 6 equals to 8 equals to 6 equals to 6 equals to the 8. So what we're going to do is we go to number 44, right? We go to number 44. And by the way, 44, space and teen. It is the division between night and day, and it'll also be created with 84, the same number, 44. So when we go 44, 33 is on the other side, mass. Now there's also an equation that goes along with this, but at the same time, this is 3 and 7, and this one is 4 and 6, Zion, Israel, and Mars. And this one over here is 6 and 4. Wow, is that right? 6 and 4? 6 and 4. Hold on a second. I got something. There's a mistake somewhere. Hold on. Let me take a peek. Hold on a second. Oh, God, I got nothing to erase. Here. Anybody wants to send me some of these, feel free. This is where Pluto comes in. This is Zion Israel Electric Company.
Over here, you have 57. You have the moon in this one here. Over here, you have 66. This is what connects the moon. The woman, freedom past, June 6th, right? June 6th, man and Mars. This one over here is 55. Sky Liberty, 55. And Space and Teen is 54. So where do I get this from? You get it from right over here. When I have 6 of these taken, I have 3 left over. Now I have 2. I have 2 taken, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. I have 5. Let's take away 5, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left over, right? We have 3. Take these 3, and we have 6 left over. And 4, we take these 4, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left over. And then we're going to see which 4 are we going to take, and then what's left over, and then we're going to get a little bit of a design, right? And we can move over. I mean, look, I got 4. Well, I'll just take out these 4, and I'll be left with this, VO, right? If I want to take out 5 and have 4 left over, I'll have LP. Now, it might be a little bit funny, but that's how you create the pieces. Whether they get to mean something or not, it's a different story. So now we have the dot and the void. So we're going to go dot, and then we're going to go void. Okay, now I'm going to go out and Queen is the 12th card. Cat, boom, cat, star key. So if you want to talk about star key, you'll find the star key on number 8. So right away, it's by the Queen, okay, because she's got the 8 eyes. But the dividing gate also includes the Jack. Now it's the Jack and the card. There's 2 cards with 1 eye, and there's 2 cards with 2 eyes. So if we're talking about the heart, or we're talking about 52, we're talking about a gateway. The reason for that, the numeric value for heart is 52, the same numeric value for earth. When you do the math, right, it's a 7th inning stretch, and it's extra innings. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 10 and 7, 17. You're now going to have a relationship with Mars. Because Mars 3 by 17 equals 51, the numeric. And in order to understand your base, you have to multiply it by 3, divide it by 3. Because 3 makes everything 369, and that's an absolute. Everybody in the world that knows how to use a calculator and add up to a single digit, that's the answer. Even pi, 3.1415 forever, I will create you perfect pi with blotches to begin with. Guaranteed it will make blotches. When I mean blotches, you're going to have sections and areas. They're going to start to repeat and look like each other in pi. If you give me, I don't know, I'm going to use a big number. I'm going to use 10,000 numbers in pi. If you give me them, I can set you up a board, and the board is not just from me. I think, let me see if I can find that board somewhere. Yes, here it is. Everything that normally I don't have to, hold on a second. Normally I don't have to invent too many things other than expanding, creating the equation, right? And to redo a pi and make it more perfect, we have to do one of these. See, there's 3, 6, 9 areas. There's a total of 81, the numeric value for Venus. Look at that. I open it to 103 just as well, not on purpose. And here's 106, not on purpose either. So what happens is we need 81. So every 80, we're going to have these. So we're going to put our numbers in here. Now, are we going to go this way? Are we going to go down? I don't know which way we're going to go. Okay, I don't know. But I'm going to probably do this way, because that's way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to continue on, and I'm going to go through, I don't know how many pages, but if there's 81 with 4 on a page, isn't that ironic? 81 times 4 is 324. 2, 3, 4 are vibration. There are, let me see how many games. There's 333 games. 333 and 334 ending. That's when you add up 1 and 333 equals to 334. The division between Earth and Mars and creation from the sun. The three little pigs, the 3 months, the 3 weeks, the 3 days, the pregnancy of the pig. It's ironic. So we need 333 games. So I'm going to check that out. Let me go to my calculator. 333 times 81 equals 333 times, 334 times 81 equals 27,054. 27,054. That's just like too ironic, because if I point my paper down here to the last page, where did I just do this? Love and the sun. 27 reverse is what I was just talking about. 3 letters and 4 letters. That is your divine. You double up once you add that other letter. This is the numeric value for the moon and the cube and time. We finished with this over here. I'm not sure if I explained it to you. Go is 22. Bust in blackjack over 21 is 22. Ape is 22. 8 is 49. Green is 49. I'm just trying to think. Mars and birth is 4 and 9. The 4th finger of marriage and the 9th finger of birth. Understanding when we divide and we create 2 aces, right? I did this before. I'm just going over before I skip over. When we create both aces in both houses, we end up looking like this. So either I'm dividing it here to get a B, or I'm doing it over here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in there. I have to eliminate that part. I have to look at that, and then I have one here. I have one here, and then I have one here. So that's 6. That's 6. Now, when I create my 33, 3 times 3, 9. 3 plus 3, 6. I now created what is the 8 with 6 and 9. And this sign is a percentage sign, which is found on number 5, right? Found on number 5 of your keyboard. We've done this before. We've done this before. And this is rotation. This is, I guess, the propeller. Lamed, Lamed connect. And we can have a little passage over here. Little passage there, little passage over here. So we did that. Let me see what I have to do over here. So we did this. I explained what's going on. And it's because the 3 and 4 divide what is the 7th gate. That is your 6 and 8. To create it, like I said, it's 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 8 equals to 6. And somewhere in my work, you will see that E and I, okay, is 5 and 9 equaling to 14. Neige, snow. I don't know why it's there, but that's what comes out of it. The GE is part of the moon system, 57. 5-7 and 5-9. How can I explain what is 5-7 and 5-9? 5-7 is what is in the moon. 5-9, that is your birth in the female and the female gate. The 7 and 9 is the gateway and birth. Your 55 is your sky pass. Your 75 is your electric. Your 95 talks about Neptune. It also talks about the Fox Pass. The reason for that, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, your Fox Pass and your DNA, 5 and 9. The IT system. See, both sides come into being alike, 5 and 9. Not only that, your 5 and 4, 9, right, is your 2 and 3, 5. Right? Your 6 and 3, 9 is your 4 and 1, 5. Here's your 1 and 4. Here's your 5 and 4. So where are we going to go with this? Yes, this also is very, very special. Okay, on your telephone, PQRS and WXYZ. The Z and the Q are now put together equaling to 43. This is 17 and this is 26, 2 and 6/8, 1 and 7/8. This was removed from the telephone letters and it was put on the ATM, and it's telling you about the gateway in 1. And when you want to go 1-0, okay, when you want to go 1-0, your O is your operator. Operator Taurus. Okay, and the first time we get a Taurus is when 3 circles come together like that. Inside here, you will see the bull's horns, also a representation of the club. See the 3 different stands on the club over here? So now we get the operator. So now when you say O, like O, can you see? Almost like saying Aussie. Say, you can mark say how you like, right? So when you go to the operator, which is the 0 on the telephone, it ends up to be right over here. And you notice when you create the star, you create a 0, you create a star, right? The X. I didn't put 1 through the center. I'm not dividing the center up, right? I do the X and I cross it this way or this way. It's one way or the other because it's got a spin. You can't block it. It creates 4 X's. And then in between, it creates 2 O's and then the rest of the images surrounding it. Where are we with this? So far, does it make sense to understand this? To note that they were removed. And since they were removed, 17 and 26, which is 51, 3 times and 3 times. And this is 78. So right away, I know it's the gateway into the heavens between the king and the queen. The king has 7 eyes. The queen has 8 eyes. I know that 7 and 8, again, is number 12, which is 2 cubes added up. I know that we have calculated this over here, right? Equaling to 19. Well, the king, once you get to the king, right? Once you go 1 through 13, and you need another cube, right? For another side of the cubes, this equals to 91 or 19, the spirit of man, the spirit in the moon. The same way we got to 1 and 3 over here, creating the same thing. One of them is 7. One of them is 6. 6 times 13, 7 times 13 equals to 91. 6 times 13 equals to 78. This one is where the king is 13. This is where the queen is. The bar mitzvah barring. At the same time, since we're on this subject, we're going to jump over to June 6th. I'm going to tell you the rest of the story after I get a drink from the kitchen. I'm answering Chris right now, and I'm sending this to Chris. Chris sent me something, but he didn't really write anything. Go ahead, Chris. I'm listening. I'm not going to mention it online. I'm going to get a drink and I'm going to explain to you what's going on with these numbers. And these are all exact and certain. Also to note, October is number 78. But we also have to understand our odd and our even letters, our alphabet shift. When we shift the alphabet, what is Earth is Mars, what is Mars is Earth, what is red is black, what is black is red, according to the roulette, according to odds and evens. And I do the shift in order to place something in a different squadron. See, if I wanted to place the alphabet in the center, right, I'm gonna have to, first of all, by placing the alphabet in the center, you have 2 letters which are the center, which is M and N. So that M and N, the M would be 18 and the N would now be 19, and that would split the 36 numbers, and 36 numbers for 360 degrees. We have to understand 360 degrees, 180 degrees, 90 degrees, 45-degree angles. Then we have to understand taking a cell and going from this point to this point in one cell, taking two cells and staying within your own linear. Although you're passing into the next cell, you're only going up in height. I mean, if you put two blocks together, you'd end up with this. You know what I'm saying? So let me get something to drink. Okay. And I just discovered this today. Okay. And it's just so freaky. First of all, June, the word June is 50. It's also JU is number 31, which represents 7 times 3, 7 plus 3, creation of the gate. I like to say that 3 is a creation from number 11. Number 11 is a dividing gate. And the reason I say that is because what happens with the letter A? What is the letter A? What can you get out of the letter A? You can create the D, you can create the C, you can create a bar. And since you have the bar, you can create the H. Now, if you divide the A, you can create the I, the T, because you only have the bar. So you create the T. And at the same time, if you turn it sideways, now you can create the I with the H, creating a window. The slanted line in A can now create the N. The other slanted line can create the Z, like above is below. When you talk about number 2, you can be talking about the voided 7. You can be talking about adding 8, which is the cycle of man. You can be talking about adding another 2. You're talking about 8, go, green, 49, Mars and marriage, also having babies. The reason for this is I bring it into formation, different formations. Like I said, 5 and 4, 6 and 3, 1 and 8, reverse 1 and 8, 3 void, 3 void, 3 void, 8, number 38. 1122 comes from this dice at the 7th gate. 1122, ape in creation. It's telling that exact story I'm telling you, unless I'm not using the right terminology. Let me show you this again. And then I'm going to get on to that. Here is number 6. 6 dot. We also know there's 15 that are left over. With the 6 dot, we also have a 3 void. I take a look here, I got 6 numbers, I got 3 left over. I take a look here, I got 9 areas, I take 6 dots, I got 3 left over. Math works. I also have to note that with this, right, I also have 45, right? I have 45 what? I have 45 area spaces. Plus 9 equals to 54, 6, 6, 6, 18, 24, 30, 9, 9, 9, 9. There's 9 areas. 4 by 9, 36. And 9 is 45. The one you don't see is the 9 here. 6 and 3 void. Now I know that the reverse of 6 is 1. So I'm going to go 1 dot 8 void. So now I'm going to go 3 and 8 void. Now, if I use the V, can I use it as a Roman numeral, right? And we're going to call this 5V. Or how about for the dot, we're going to go 500 dot, free parking. Why? Because a D, right, is 500 in Roman numerals. So anyways, let me take it on. We have the 1 and 6 equaling to 7, equaling to 11. Now, the thing about this cube is the complete reverse cube is 7, 11. The reason for that, agree or disagree, that the opposite of the 3 is the 4. The opposite of the 1 and 6 is the 1 and 6. The opposite of the 5 and 2 is the 5 and 2. Since they're all 7s, we're going to go with 7s opposite of each other. When we go 7 opposite of each other, right, with 18 areas, we are going to go 18 minus 7 equals 11. So the same scenario comes up when you're using this 1 and 6 over here. And note 6 has 2 directions. The reason 6 has 2 directions is we're not going to look at it this way. We're going to look at it this way. When the 4 or 3, okay, is up, the 6 will be sitting in the H position. When the 5 and 2 are up, it will be sitting in the I position. (17) and 19 again. Do you remember we just did that before? This will equal to 57. What is moon gold? And this will equal to what is DC, direct current, dog and cat, 34, 51, 68. Mars, the gateway in DC. Now, when you have 34, you have cold blue. Energy and time. Otherwise, you have red. Whoops, sorry. Hot. And in this one, you have 70, and the total is 144, 12 by 12. It also equals to 54, which is into the sun. 16 and 9 equals and into the earth. 7 and 9. What did I do? 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 and 8, 24. It'll divide the day and the night. And then after we work with the 1. 4 by 4 is 16. 4 plus 4 is 8. 24 and 1 equals to 25. And that's the numeric value for Earth. 25. 54. Where do I get that? 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 0, 4. 7 and 9, the gateway in the birth. And just to note that when you get to 70 and 90, they're not like any of the other numbers. 70 and 90 are not like the other numbers. When you come to 70, I play with a simple rule. It's the French and English rule. When I come to 70, I will say 60 plus 10. When I come to 90, I'll go 4 by 20 plus 10. Also note the 7 and the 9 had a letter removed from the phone to the ATM. So when we come up to this 7, 11, if we multiply it, we get 77 and 18. Birth into the house of Raish comes the student. 49 and 14. 9 and 4 equals to 13. 1 and 3 is 4. 1 and 4 is 5. 5 and 4 born into the sun. It also equals to 63, which is the word for 11, and 11 is base for creation. 11. The numeric value for 11 is base creation. And guess what? 9, 11. Take away 15, right? 63 minus 15. Taking away the vowels equals to 48. And the word sun and Pluto and ring and pole. As pole is 48, as Pluto is 84, bringing it into the cycle of what is man, numeric value 28, man at the age of ending 13, the 13 by 28, equaling to what is the 364 days of the year, or 777, equaling to 343, or CDC, again, 777 equals to 21, equals to 364, which is 91 times 4, or 7 times 13 times 4. 13 cards in the deck of cards. If you add up 1 to 13, it equals to 91 times 4 suits equals to the 364. Your 36 comes into creation here. What is 36? It's the I and the R. Birth in the house of Raish. House of Bait, sorry. Bait. Raish is born in the house of Bait. Number 27, this one over here is 9, and this is 18, which is 3 times 6 and 3 plus 6, working on what is 360 degrees. The 90-degree angle and the 180-degree angle split by the 45-degree angle, which happens to show what is Fox, and noted to be what is 6, 6, and 6. It's also noted to be what is connected to the angel. The numeric value for angel is 39. The numeric value for 10 is 39. 3 is created from 11. 9 is created from 14. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals to what is 9. The 666 Fox is because the letter F is the 6th letter, the O is the 15th letter, and the X is the 24th letter, equaling to 45. 1 and 5 is 6. 2 and 4 is 6. This mathematically will create what is 6, 11, 14, which will be 6, 2, 5. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. Your passage is supposed to equal 625. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, the 4th time, equals 625, because the 3rd time is 125, and that's Earth, Mars coming to the high creation. Memory, 512 memory, you know, your memory, gigabytes, or whatever you want to call it. There's other things. 52 is Earth. 51 is Mars. The total is 103. 103 is September, also noted to be Jesus Christ and the bar mitzvah. And not only that, it's that Earth is 52 and Mars is 51. Total is 103. JC. Tet Gimel coming together. Tet Gimel, 2 gateways in gematria. The reason for that, T and G are both 7, so it becomes 77. So now you're talking Christ, matter. And you know, when you add up matter and Jesus, it equals to 151, and 151 is Mars, which is reversed to what is the numeric value for the moon. So let me see what, yes. So now I'm going to get on to what is June 6th. June 6th is the, that I totaled this out. Do I have to write it again? Hold on a second. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to count that, do the count again. Where was that count? Sorry about that. Just give me a second. That's about the penny and the dollar. We're not going to get into that. Okay, we're going to do it here. Where is it? So we're going to go January, February, March, April, May. 59, 69, 79, 80, 90. Your birth comes in March. 90, 120. One of your first gates in the moon. 120, 151 ending in May. 74 and 77 ends on May. So then June, what did I say? 151 plus 6 equals 157. So this would be in the heart of Mars, the gateway in the moon. Number 1, the difference between 1 and 2 is when I divide by 3, if I divide 1 or 2 by 3, I will end up with 0.333, 0.666. Only when 4 and 5 show up, right? This is the IT system in the sun, internet, telecommunications, 9 and 20, 29 black, direct current maybe. So only when this shows up, I'm losing my space. Yes, 4 divided by 3 is 1.333, and this is 1.666. Okay, the difference between these two over here. Let me see where I am. So it becomes 157. If you count the days backwards, starting from December over to June, you would pass through June, okay, and you will use up 25 days. Plus, you will use up, let me see, 31, 30. I had this written out. I lost it. 31, 30. Then you're going to get 31. So we're going to go 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 151, 152, 153, 158, 168, 178. Did I get that right? 177 and 178. So it's showing me a gate. 7 and 8 comes together. So is this right? No, there's something wrong about this. Where didn't I not calculate properly? Let me calculate, because I'm supposed to have at least 360 days here. Let me see. December. Okay, 30, 61, 71, 81, 91, 92, 122, 132, 142, 152, 153, 163, 173, 178. Oh, no. Okay, I'm supposed to go into June. That's the problem. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is 31. Notice that July and August and December, the only two that connect 62, the only ones that connect 62 is where the queen comes in, right? 4, 4, 4, 4, dividing the day and the night, dividing the sky. And then we have the solstice that comes in. When did the solstice come in, right? So let me do this again. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214 plus 25, 239. How's that possible again? 239? I only can get 208. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 160, 170, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184. Okay, 194, 204, 209. Now it works out. Krista Berg was running that train. Okay, the IT system shows up over here. That's the numeric value for the IT system, 2 and 9. There's also the birth. It also connects to your sky system. It also connects to the sun. The reason for that is 5 times 4 is 20. 5 plus 4 equals to 9. So it's showing me a front line. Notice one is in 1, the other one is in 2. When you're showing 1 in 1 and you're showing the other one in 2, you're showing what is 7 and 8. The 7 void and the 8 void coming together. What is run in between and what is all around. So this is what shows up. So what happens is we're running 25 days into June, representing the Earth, and it becomes the 7th month. Running backwards to June 6th, it becomes the 7th month. Plus the 25 days creates 77. This in June, you get the 6th month and the 6th day, creating 66. Creating 6 and 6, 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. The total over here will create 63 and 48 equals to 111. And the center of 360 degrees is 111. The reason for that is the center of 36 numbers falls between 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, and 16. And these crisscrossing star system of numbers will only be 6 and never 8. And when you put a chip on the line over here, you will pick up 6 numbers, not 8. In roulette, you do not get 8. So this here is 111, and that's your separation. 555 and 111 is what separates Mars, Mars, Mars quarters. So I'm trying to see where I am. So that's just pretty funny because I always like to look at 66 is noted as freedom. 66 is also as well 99. And there's a very special math equation with 66 and 99. And that is when you multiply this 47 by 9, you get 6336. When you multiply it by 6, you get 2442, 66. It's just ironic the way just that works out. Let me look. Facebook user 28 by 13 equals Maya 360, not 436, unless you're using the jokers, equals 26 moon and 28. Okay, I'm not really sure I understand. Where did I get 436? That would be 76 more than. I don't think I got 436. Where did I make that mistake? Because well, okay, hold on a second. When it says 436, okay, there's two ways of looking at this. If you're looking at dollars or you're looking at cents. If you're looking at cents, you separate the 4 from the 36. If you're looking at dollars, you'll use the 3 numbers together. And also, when you have when you have change in your pocket, it doesn't mean you have to use all your change, but this is what you have to work with. 3 and 6 is what makes your 18 and 9, or 4 by 36 for 144. My first number in this instance is going to tell me either, it's going to tell me about the mirror, because it's the mirror between what is 3 and 4. Once you get the 3, the fourth one creates the mirror. 3 and 4 is 7. 7 and 6 comes together. It's just all the equations. So I separated the 4 from the 36. Now, I'm not really sure where you got that anyways, but what happens is 28 turns into 26 mathematically. 2 times 8, 2 plus 8, okay, equals to what is 16 and 10 equaling to 26. As well, 6 and 2 is 8. 2 and 8 is 1. They are the dot and the void to each other when added up to a single digit. So it works out that they come into each other. Okay, you can't pose a pic live. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can do this. I don't know if you can come here. Can you come? I'm not sure. Let me copy this and see if you can come to this channel. Or what you can do is, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have an app I can give you. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get the app. I'm just looking to see if I can get the app. Where would the app be? Oh, okay, here it is. Okay, hold on a second. The app is here. I'm going to give you this app. I don't know if you're allowed to use it or not. Right, it's right here. Let's see what opens up. Can I open this up? Let me see what happens. Well, what it is I'm going to show you on my screen that it's IBB something or other. Anyways, I don't know if I can give it. Put it on your page. I'll come to your page and look at it. Or I'm not sure where you can put it. Maybe on Odyssey. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm using the where you can authenticate it, put it, and then share it from a site. So let me see if I can get to FB. Okay, right. It doesn't let you share pictures. Okay, let me look this up. Facebook won't let me post pictures on a live video. No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Let me look at something. Oh, you know what else you can do? Hold on a second. What you can do is, yeah, okay, this is what you can do. Go to an old video of mine, Knowing the Truth. You see this over here, right? And here you can do it right here, add a photo. So don't do it to the live. Show me it in this one over here, and then I can put it up with this camera. All right? Can you see that? Right? Go to Art Mr. Tackmans, and then get out of this one. Get out of the one you're in, and then go to this one below it, right? And that way you'll be able to do it. Just give me a minute. I'm going back to the kitchen to get something to drink. Okay. So that's what it is about that. And what happens is 7 and 7 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4, 7 and 7 is 13, 1 and 3 is 4. So this equation on June 6th, it ends up saying the division between night and day. It's also, like I said, the reverse alphabet. Let me see if I get this right. Landing on the same day, counting the same day twice. This will equal to 13, and this one will equal to 11. That's what I basically need for my creation, these two numbers. This one will create 12, right? This one will also create 14. What will create, where does number 15 come from, right? I need to recreate, like 11 is going to create 3, right? Which is going to be 1 plus 2 equals 3. 11, let's do it a little bit different. 11 will equal 1 and 2 equaling to 3. Now, if I used 1 and 2, I'm now going to use 12, which is 2 and 3 equals to 5. And then 2 and 3 will equal to 11. How is that possible? 2 times 3, 6. 2 plus 3, 5 equals to 11. So now if we continue on, 6 and 5 equals to 30 and 11, equaling to 41. So this is where 14 comes out. So now if you look, we created 23 and 14. 1, 2, and 3, 5, 1, and 4, 5 from the same numbers. This is what's going to connect the heart of 336 numbers. On one part, it's going to be 14 over here. You're going to do this. You're going to draw it down here. You're going to come back. This will be number 23. This will be number 14. Now, if we add the wings on, and then the top part on, this is what we end up having at the heart of 36 numbers. It won't exactly look like that. We're doing this with a center line. We can do it in different sizes, right? We can also call, where's the ace? We can call the ace a different thing, putting the legs down below. When you put the legs down below, you've separated, right? Let's say B and B, and you separated it with what is the center core of A, AB, AB, if you want to look at it that way. Or we can use the points over here, and then we can run the legs down this way. Which way are we going to run A? Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. So what we have over here is we have all of this. Now what we're going to create is 5 and 4. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 5 and 4. And then 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 will create 20 and 9. And this is where your IT system sets up, 29. So when you see this setting up that, the base of where I told you number 13 will equal to 3 and 4, which will then equal to what is 12 and 7, equaling to 19. This one equals to 29. This one equals to 19. This will now equal to 39, and the angels will come from this number. 13 and 50, 1 and 3, 4, 4 and 5, 9. Fourth planet, 9 birth. We have to bring 1 and 2 together. It shows me here 1 and 2, and we bring it together right there. And then we have the mirror, which is right here. 360 degrees when you go from 180 degrees when you move from one side to the other. It's 180 degrees or it's 90 degrees. The R and the I. 54, 27. The house of bait. This is 29, and I don't write it this way usually. I usually write the house of bet, right, without the I inside of it, because the birth is not. This is when the birth is inside the house. This is when it's not. It's just ET. And this total of this word is 27. The total of this word is 29 and 8. Is that right? 29 and 5, 6, 7. 29 and 7. Is that 36? Yeah, it's 36. 270 degrees, 360 degrees, leaving 90 degrees between them. 81 is Venus. Also, 81 is noted to be the 1 dot heart center to the 8 that surrounds it, the heavens that surround it. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. So now we had 13 and we had 12. We had 9. Did we have 8? Did we have 8 anywhere? I don't think I got an 8 anywhere. So I'm going to have to go through the complete numbers. 11 equals to 1 and 2 equals to what is 3, or 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. 6 times 5, 6 plus 5, 6 times 5 equal to this. 1 and 1 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. And we're back to the beginning of the equation again. But we're going to add this, is 41. 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. Now we have 5 and 4. 5 times 4, 20. 5 plus 4, 9. Now the equation repeats. 92 is yellow. 29 is black. Those are base. That's just a base. Okay. The reverse of black, okay, is going to be 25. The reverse of yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I get that right? 6 letters, 120, 120, and 42 equals 162. This is going to connect to the moon, this number. 2160, the moon diameter. Any number that touches those numbers will always, for me, connect to the moon. In the house of bait, because it's number 2. At the dividing gate, 6 and 1 is 7, And we have it right over here. 2 and 7 come together, the house of bait, the B house. Remember, the difference between 2 and 1 is Mars and the Queen. Also, you can never see more than 5 sides on a dice. So when I flip these over, I'll see the same thing on the other side. 5 and 6, yo, 11 in creation. 1 and 2, 3. 3 and 11 are the red ball and pool. There's 8 difference. The separation of the heavens, the 8 ball and pool. So we end up with this number over here, which creates 18 and 11. That's your final result in this. And then here we start it over again. Here we're going to have a new equation from this one because this one comes all the way back from the beginning. So if we're going to go to 8, we're going to create 8 and 9 equals to what is 17. And then you're going to create 7 and 8 equaling to what is 15 and 56. And both of these will go back to the beginning. Here's your 56, and this will recreate this. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5. And then this will divide again and come back to number 41. 41 king, 41 home, 41 and 41 equals to 82, and 41 equals to 1, 2, 3. A, B, C in the cycle of man. 28. Man, equaling to what is 6 and 6. Barring Highway 66 and running it through Highway 80. And to create 80, I need 8 times 8, 8 plus 8, equaling to 64, equaling to 16, will total 80. And it's going to create another gate because 6 and 4 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 and 6 is 7. And this is going to include both this and this if we're talking about the cube. 8 surrounding 1 and 7 in between 2. This is also noted to be with number 52. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 creates 10 and 7, 17. And now Earth will connect to DC and Mars through this number over here. So you have 10 and 7 here, but the 18 created 8 and 9. See, these two numbers and these two numbers, although they ended up creating 17, they're two different numbers telling two different stories. And look again, 9 and 7. Very special numbers, 7 and 9. They're not the same as other numbers, and the French don't count them the same. When they say 17, 18, or 19 in French, they say 10, which is 509 or 50.9. Why do I say that? These are all Roman numerals, but in French, it means 10. This is number 37. 10, ironic, is number 39. Again, 9 and 7, the gateway to birth. And then you're going to say 7. You're going to say 10, 7, 10, 8, and 10, 9. You say it separately. So therefore, if I multiply it, I'll be going 30 plus 21, or I'll be going 30 plus 24, or I'll be going 30 plus 27. So this one ends up to be the moon in the house of bait. This one will be the dividing house of bait through the 9 lives of the cat. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 will create the separation between 6 and 8 on 2 cubes. Remember, one of them is die. And when you pass away in the Hebrew religion, they cut your tie because they cut you away from EI into the birth of AE. What happens, and when you're born in Mars, they take that one dot, they put it inside the 4, and they call it the E world. 77, 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. And that's where matter comes in. Also, Christ comes into that effect. Here is the IE instead of the AE, where A plays a role. Now, if you want to go over to If you want to go over to this, we have a penny and a nickel. So the penny is copper, and the nickel is silver. Now, the thing is, I can also say gold, because when I take bronze and I make it shine, and you're at a distance, you're not sure if it's bronze or if it's gold. And if I took tin and I mixed it with copper, right? Did I get this right? 23 and 32 is 55 and 18. Is that right? 18 and 16 is 34, 44, 50, 73. It's 73. Nibiru is also 73. Created from 11 and 13, equaling to 24, dividing the gate. Where do I get that from? 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2, and 1 equals to 3. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals 3, and 4 equals to what is 7, which will give you 21 and 10, which will give you June and July, and the same 6 and 7 that separates the gate that I showed you 2 pages prior, right over here. Counting backwards from December, counting forward from June, although the numbers are different. I didn't go into, now I should go over and go the 209th day of the year. What is the 209th day of the year? So I can do this quicker. I'm just going to ask the machine. What day is the 209th day of the year? Let me see. July 28th is the 209th day of the year. That's in 4 days from now. 210th day in a leap year. We touch the moon again on this number. All zeros equal 6. And 2 and 10 are both blue in pool. 156 days remaining. I had 157 because it's 156 plus 1. Again, 156 is like 66. 29 or 21. I'm just trying to. So anyways, when we come to this, we ask ourselves a question. If we have bronze, we have V11 for Earth, or we have V1 for Mars. So if we're looking at this, right, we're looking at 2 pennies and a nickel. So we're looking at 2 pennies as we're looking 2 bronze, copper, bronze, because it's shiny, because we added the tin to it, and the tin looks like silver. So we have to understand also that when you get the bronze, you get third. When you get the gold, you get first. Look at that, first and third, where bronze looks like gold. 13, man on the moon. And when you get second, and when you put it together, you get ST. We stand on 17 with 1 and 2, creating 3 bronze. Or then we can just add that in and we can have standard. And if we add in the 4th position, in the E world, we'd have standard death. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. The 39 angels come into the residency and they come into life. RD is 22. ND, did I get that right, is 18, and ST is 39. 3, 9, and 4 come together. 9 and 4 coming together. Creation, birth in Mars, in the mirror worlds of 10J. Where do I get 10J? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 10. If I do it the other way, 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to 6. 1 and 6. So this is where the difference is, the other side. So we understand that, right? Now, if I multiply it, I get 24 and 10. And if I multiply it, I get 6 and 6. This equals to 34. This equals to what is 12. 7 and 3 again come to note. So when I do this, 1 is Earth, 1 is Mars. Earth comes with 2 pennies and a nickel. Mars comes with a nickel and a penny. just to understand this situation, what's going on. Let me read. Wait. Got it. Lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. LAN. LAN, they use that terminology like the landline, right? Gimel. Yes, Gimel. Forget about the MM. The first two letters of Gimel are 7 and 9. Gem, Gimel, Gemel, Gem, Gem. The GE, if you're putting GE together, you're going to be connecting to the moon and the Federation, because the letter M is made up with a 1, a V, and a 1. So it's now representing, Federation is representing both Earth and Mars, 4, 5, and 6, and equates to what is Mars. The reason for that is the letter M design has a V in the center. It looks like a 1 on the left and a 1 on the right. There are two 1s being used. V1 for Mars, V11 for Earth. The letters, if I remember correctly, can be found on the 5 key on your telephone. Also, the V1 is 4, 5, and 6. And it also spits out the letters DEF for Federation. 6 and 5 is Yo-11 in creation, because the inverted cube is telling us, right, that you have 6 and 5 in your creation 1 and 2, craps 11. And the payout, I think, what is the payout? 4 to 1. And then you're on the pass line, which pass equals to 55 and sky pass equals 55, 55, 110. They took down two 110s to build one up. So they took down a 220 to put up a 110. 110, 220. The ring and the pole. Hockey comes into this. Separation of 1/3. They took 4 areas, and now we're only living in 1 of the 4 areas. So 3 parts that exist out of the 4 parts. Do you follow what I'm saying? How can I explain that? When I get to 11 and 22, it's 1/3 11, and 1/3 11, and 1/3 11. Now, if we're using the 11s, I'm using it here. Remember to take away the opposite side of the 7. On each side and the opposite side of the 7, I'm left with 11, 11, 22 for the ring, 11 for the pole. So I have 11 is 1 period in hockey, and then 2 periods in hockey. And note that in hockey, or in certain sports, it's a 7-game series, and it's best of 7, which ends at 4. 4 and 7 come to note again. 101 equals to 1, 2, 4, so it equals to 5, right? Creation stopped the ball, and then we got the ball rolling by everybody's choice all over the world, how things change. Collective consciousness, it exists. Collective consciousness, it exists. How does it work? I'm going to put away this book over here. I was going to do the days of the month again. I just want to see where I am with this. There's only 2 letters in the I and the R. There's only 2 in that house, right? There's only 2 in that house. Every other one has 3. I'm just trying to see what's ironic about the days of the month in the days of the week in French is that everything ends in DI except for Sunday when it starts with DI. And you know what's funny? When you go, when you say it and you don't see it, you go dimanche and you're at a baseball game, you think you're in EI. EI in baseball, extra innings. EI. Why EI? Because this is 10 It's also 3 numbers in Roman numerals. It's also number 37. But Dimanche is the initials extra innings. OT, OTEI. Extra innings. It's not overtime. It's overtime in hockey. When you go to OT, you're talking about 3 parts of something making it complete. When you're talking about EI, extra innings, you're talking about baseball, 9 innings. Now, what happens? Wow, I finished the book already. So what happens in EI? That's 5 and 9. And it's funny that Einstein, the word Einstein, E and I equals to N, and also begins and ends in Einstein. And there's a relationship to Einstein, 1776, and Neptune all come together to create a dividing gate. I'm not going to get into that right now. Sorry that I had to bring it up. So we have EI and we have OT. That's a total of 35. Here's 5 and 9. It's 15 and 20. So when you have overtime, all of a sudden I have pool and darts coming into that realm. The moon comes out in that realm in both of them. The passing of the moon comes out in overtime. So what happens in extra innings? And tra or tree equaling to what is 3? Tra, tree, tray, something about more than 1. Extra in ings, and it's inside the park. And the 7th inning is a stretch. Again, 7 and 9. So what happens? STTC. Let me mark this down for myself. Stretch. So, and okay, so here's what it is. In the 7th inning stretch, there are 18, okay, H, home, 41, and there are 21, okay, for the visitor. Mars, it says Mars, Mars, Taurus, Mars, Mars. Roman numerals, Mars is 51. This looks like a 5 and 1. This is a Roman numeral, 5 and 1, and then gold. It says Mars gold. So there's 21 and 18 outs equaling to 39. You can use 10 angel. They both equal to 39. 15 and 7, 22, and 5 is 27 and 12, 39. 27 and 12. This will equal to 14 and 9, equaling to 23 in the house of bait. Well, both of the equations are perfect. 7 times 2, 7 plus 2 equals 14 and 9, 23. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, they both equal 5. It's absolutely perfect, this number. Works out perfect. So when you get to the 9th inning, and the game ends in the 9th inning, and what happens? There's 51 outs, 52 outs, 53 outs, 54 outs. What has happened? If there's 51 outs in a baseball game and the game is over, does anybody know what happens? That's right. The home team was leading. If there's 52 outs in a game, it means the home team won in the 9th by scoring a run. If there's 52 or 53 outs in the game, the home team won by scoring a run in the 9th. But if there's 54 outs and the game's over, the home team lost because they had to use up all the outs. There are 9 times 3 outs per inning, equaling to 27, and 27 totaling 54 outs inside the house of bait. But if you see 55 outs, you know the game is not ended or it's delayed to rain. If you see 56 outs or 57 outs, you will know that you have ended at 55 and 56. You're still in the top of the 10th. But if you see 57 outs, you're going to the bottom of the 10th. Now, if you stop the game at 57 and the game is over, that means the home team won in the bottom. But if you see 58 outs and 59 outs and the game is over, you know the home team won. But if you see 60 outs in the game, there's a possibility if the game's over at 60, you know the road team won, and you know the road team scored in the top half of the 10th inning. And this just ended the game. 10 innings played, 60 minutes on the clock. The game is now over. So at 57 outs, we've landed on the moon. Here we have sky pass, but the inning hasn't ended till 57, the moon landing. The road team cheated. Okay, let me just look. Yes, the turkey. Absolutely. You see, yes. If you go bowling, again, another thing in bowling, it shows you in the 10th frame, you throw all 3 strikes together. Everything I talk about is represented somewhere, and it's major. It's been created into a major reality. Yes, that's also possible. Smiles to all. Bad jokes. Top of the 10th and gaining. The road team cheated. Let me see what this is. Turkey bowling. Bowling is funny because you start off the game. You should actually go from the 10th frame in bowling and work your way this way. Instead of work, you see, we work our way up in bowling, but really creation was working our way down. Clockwise and counterclockwise. If I do this, when I get to the top, those coming down do this, those going up doing this. So with the clock, we're coming down. But against the clock, we're going up. So in sports, wind the clock down or wind the clock up. In soccer, they're winding the clock up. In hockey, they're winding the clock down. If I got that right. So in bowling, we would be 30 in the 10th, in the 9th would be 60, and the 8th would be 90, and that's where your birth would come in. The 7th would be 120, the 6th would be 150, so you arrived, look where you arrived, between 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 5, 6. 7 and 6, Earth and Mars come together, creation through what is Earth, and we are creating it through Mars. 7 and 3, 7, 1 and 2, 3, 6 and 6. Freedom, 66, woman, 66. They now change the bypass of 66 to I-80. The 5th frame would be 180, and that would be Raish, and 5 and 6 bring in the gold. 5 and 6 is also Yo 11, the student in the game of craps. We have the 4th frame will be 210. Now we get to the moon. The 3rd frame will be 240. We now divided the gates. The 2nd frame is going to be 270 inside the house of bait, and then 30 creation will be in the 1st frame, where we were going to get 300 or 3 creation from the 1st frame. From the 1st frame to the last frame, it'd be 30 and 300, 270 and 60, 240 and 90. And when you look at all of them, this is what you end up with, 33. Rotation and creation with inside the divided sun. $240 and 270 is Mars. 210, you see what I do with all zeros. First of all, I'll put a decimal and add another 0. So I'll go to 2100, right, which is the cube. But all zeros equal to 6. It's an automatic. The 15th letter is 6. All zeros equal to 6. The word 0 equals to 64, which will equal to 7. But 7, when you have 6, you automatically have the chance to have the 1 spirit or the extra point to the touchdown. Scored. Anyways, we're going to end the video here. I want to thank you for being here. If you want to help out the channel, that'd be just fantastic. I can come here. Well, I don't think I can come here any more often than I do. Every time I have an idea or something, I come here and I shake it. Time for bed, 1:25 in the morning, or that would be, I think, May 5th. This is also be a representation of Yo, 52 Earth. The 25th letter is Y. And the 15th letter is O, saying yo, like in boy. You never hear the word boy. Girl starts with 7 and 9, which is the gateway creation, girl. IR comes together, which is the rotation within the sun. 54, love, goose eggs. The L is for female, ending with the L. Chance, if you want to say chance, we're going to go to Monopoly. Then we're going to have the community chess. And chance and community chess are just the first letter is CCC. The second letter is both with the H. 3 and 8 come together, 11 and 22. Peace and love to everybody. Share the channel if you like it. I would really just love to be able to create a program that like we can just put all this information and spit out a few more answers a little bit quicker. We didn't do, there's days of the week. And remember, every single day of the week ends with day, and day equals to 30, 4 plus 26. I always like to separate my 1 and 2 from everything because we need to start creation at 3C. 3 and 9 is 12. That's your first base, 12. And then 4 and 9 is 13. So your base is 3 and 9, and you're mirrored to 4 and 9. Right? But since 9 plays inside of where the 1 area is, right, we should just start with 4 and 8 equaling to 12, and then 5 and 8. And we do that because the 9 plays a role in the birth inside of here. So that's why I'll switch it up. And then note that when you go to 5 and 8 equaling to 13, that's going to say ace, sun, and will create the orange ball in pool, which will be yellow and red coming together. Anyways, tired. If you got anything to tell me, write me in an email. I just want to go and check my email right now. I had an email from Chris earlier on. I don't know if he wrote me back again. Let me see. He wrote me one time. No, all he said is hi, so we're going to leave it at that. I even lost where you are. Okay. I'm burnt. Taurus. Dr. Taurus. Football, baseball, hockey. Yeah, so just to go over real quick, that one little piece that I left out, I said I'll say it next time, is where 15 and 20 comes in. Just want to see if where I wrote it down. 15 is the 15 pool balls. 1 through 15, Mars equals to 120. 1 through 20 equals to 210. The dartboard adds up in the center of the dartboard is 50, 25, 75 electric company. There's a single, a double, and a triple in the darts, A, B, C. When you come into the world, you get the sun and the moon, the air you breathe, the basics that come with being born, and the earth, the sun, the moon, the earth, the stars, and the sky, the clouds. But I'm done. I'm done. Thank you very much. And if, like I said, if you like it, pass it on. Let's expand on this to where we can bring our conscience closer together, showing that there's a truth that is hidden within everything that we have. That you cannot deny. You cannot deny this. You cannot deny that none of this ever exists. You cannot deny the alphabet. You cannot deny numbers. You cannot deny the fork, the spoon, the cup, and the saucer. You cannot deny the computer. You cannot deny that other people are counting in numbers. You cannot deny languages that exist. You just can't deny Morse code, Roman numerals. You can't deny the dartboard, the boxing ring, the baseball stadium. You can't deny the athletes, the gold, the silver, the bronze, that the Olympics comes with silvers. You cannot deny, but you can deny and not believe that it's all the skeleton with what needs to be given form in order to recreate and call it creation. Wheels keep on turning. Good night.